Hi, hope you're having a great day. You're watching JFG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm gonna go over the first reviews or reactions of Star Wars Visions. Yes, this show will premiere next week, and it's going to be an animated show of non-canon stories of Star Wars. And there's certainly a lot of hype around it, especially after the trailer debuted it, which was incredible. And now the first screeners have gone through, people have watched the whole show, and now they're getting the first impressions of the show. And I'm gonna go over a lot of them in this video to give you an idea what to expect from the show, the good, the bad, what you can be looking forward to, what you're probably gonna think that is bad, and all that type of stuff that might let you know what you're going to think of the show, to let you set the right expectations whenever you go see it, instead of getting overhyped or something like that. So that's what I'm going to be telling you in this video. I gathered a bunch of different reviews from a bunch of different critics that have a bunch of different opinions to get as much possibility of different views and perspectives as possible. So I hope that that helps also to fill in your expectations. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing for this video. But before that, please make sure to leave a like. It would be very helpful, especially since it took a lot of time to get this list together. So please leave a like. As well, subscribe to get more videos like this. I'm gonna go with the first reactions of Venom the Carnage as well in my next video. So if you want to know what people are talking about that movie, then definitely subscribe. And I'm gonna be doing this for a lot of other shows and a lot of different movies whenever they get the first reactions. So definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. And lastly, comment down below on how hype are you for Star Wars Visions. Are you like super hype? Are you like mildly hype? Like I'm middle hype. Like I don't really love anime, so that definitely takes my hype out down like a big thing. But I'm still like, yeah, it looks really good. It looks like the stories that they chose are pretty good. But maybe like you might be a person that loves anime and loves Star Wars, and this is like, there's a match made in heaven. You know, this is the best thing ever. So definitely just tell me down in the comments down below where your hype level is. I'm definitely very curious, and I'm definitely reading them. Okay, now let's get started with the first reactions and reviews. Okay, so before we start, in case you don't know the format of this video, I'm gonna tell you the format. In case you haven't seen my channel or any stuff like that, then I'll tell you the format. So I usually read the reactions, and I'm gonna be looking this way, so you're gonna be like, you might see me looking that way instead of looking straight at the camera, and that's mostly because I'm gonna be reading the reactions. And I put the first reaction reviews right here, so you can read them, and that way you can read along with me, or if you want to pause the video and read them by yourself or stuff like that, that's definitely a possibility. Or like I said, I'm gonna be reading them so you can just hear me if you want. And then after that, I'll just be breaking them down to tell you all the important elements and what this might mean for your expectations, and then I will go to the next reaction review, and so on and so on and so on until I get over my list. So that's going to be how this video works. So now let's get started with the first reaction or review. And this one comes from Eric Davis, and this is what he says. I've watched all of Star Wars Visions, and I absolutely loved it. Each short brings its own unique, inventive interpretation of Star Wars that enhances and expands upon everything we already know. The visuals are gorgeous, and the storytelling is top-notch. So many crazy lightsaber fights. So as you can see, this is an amazing first reaction and review. First, he specifies that he watched all of Star Wars Visions, which includes all 9 episodes of Star Wars Visions. And he said that he absolutely loved all of them. He said that they gave very unique vibes each episode, which makes sense, especially since each episode, or at least most of the episodes, are made by different studios. So that makes a lot of sense. He also says that it works very well as a Star Wars show, and that it definitely expands very well from what the Star Wars mythology is. And the storytelling is top-notch. And as we saw at the end, he said that there's so many crazy lightsaber fights, and I mean, who doesn't want to see any more crazy lightsaber fights? Because I know I do, and I think everybody else does. So that's an amazing first session review. Eric Davis didn't only stop there, but also said some other things. This is what he said. If you are a fan of the Jedi and Sith stories, you'll love Star Wars Visions, as many of the shorts involve the two doing battle. Some are perfect as is, and some you'll want to see more of. And he puts in between parentheses, I hope they continue to play with ideas introduced in the Ninth Jedi. Personally, so this is great for everybody who loves Sith and Jedi stories, as he said himself, especially since he said that they focus a lot on it, and we can see that from the promo. There's a lot of Jedi and Sith in it, and we can also see that they introduced new concepts like in episodes like the Ninth Jedi, which is crazy. I definitely want to know what those new concepts are. I'm definitely very curious, and I'm definitely very hyped to see the battles that they have in here, especially since they can go really crazy, since they have like a budget, or like they had to make it like super real. No, they can go crazy on it because it's animation, kind of like what Marvel's doing with What If. So I definitely want to see those fights. Also, I do want to point out one key thing that he has said throughout his first reaction and review, and that is that he calls the episodes shorts, and that is because they're most likely going to be really, really short. So just keep that in mind. They're not like full-on episodes. Don't expect like 45 minutes episodes or nothing like that. As he says, they're short. So limit your expectations to being shorts. I personally have my expectations for them to be like 45-minute episodes, 30-minute episodes, but no, limit your expectation for them to be short. Okay, now let's move on to the next first reaction and review. This one comes from BSL, and that's what he says. Star Wars Visions blew me away. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. The art style is incredible, and the stories told are simple, but that's not a bad thing. I've seen the English dub and intend to rewatch it in the Japanese dub. Highly recommended. So there's another great first reaction review for Star Wars Visions, as he says that he got blown away by it. He also says that the art style is incredible, which is something that you will most likely see in other reviews. And I think that's especially true if you like anime. I think you absolutely love the art style if you love anime. So that is something to keep in mind. He also said that the stories are very simple, which is something very different from what we're seeing from Marvel and What If, where the stories are being like super like complicated or adding like all these layers to it. No, I said that these are simple, which is interesting to know. But he said this wasn't a bad thing, so I'm sure this is going to work just fine. He also mentioned that he saw the English dub and that he really enjoyed that English dub, but that he doesn't intend to watch it in the Japanese dub. So clearly you can choose whichever one to see, because apparently the English dub is great. I know a lot of people were being worried that the English dub was going to suck, just like a bunch of other animes. English dub sucks, but I think with this reaction review, we see that that's not true. And yeah, so if you just want to see it in English, because you don't want to read the subtitles, then go ahead and see it in English. There's nothing to worry about according to this reaction review. It was great in English. So yeah. Okay, now let's move on to the next reaction review, which is not as positive. And this one comes from Grace Randolph, and this is what she says. Darn it, Star Wars Visions does not live up to the amazing trailer. Anime fans might enjoy this, but others are going to have a tough time. Episodes are around 15 minutes each. Review embargo lifts Tuesday, the day before all episodes drop on Disney+. Okay, so this one, as I told you, is nowhere near as positive as the other ones. They say that first of all, it doesn't live up to the amazing trailer, which I do gotta admit, the trailer was really amazing. And I also doubted that it was going to be able to live up to such an amazing trailer. And clearly, according to this review, it does not live up to the amazing trailer. She also does mention that if you're an anime fan, then you're probably going to enjoy this a lot. But if not, then you might have a tough time going through the show, which is expected, I think, because it's super heavy anime, as you can see by the trailer. Which personally, like I said, I'm not a super huge anime fan, so that's like, oh, that's a bummer. And also, like I said in the first review, they kept calling it shorts, and here we see that each episode is around 15 minutes each. So limit your expectations for each episode to be around 15 minutes each. Don't expect a 30-minute or 45-minute or maybe even an hour episodes, because that's not going to be the case. Each episode is around 15 minutes each. Just set your expectations for that. If you want to know more about her reaction, she says that her embargo is on Tuesday, so you can see in her channel the full-on reaction. And she does mention that all episodes, all 9 episodes, will drop on Disney Plus on next Wednesday, which I forgot what day it is, but they will drop next Wednesday. Okay, now let's move on to the next reaction review, and this one comes from David Opie. I'm not sure how to say his name, but this is what he says. Star Wars Visions is incredible. The animation is god tier, and it's fascinating to see each studio explore the far reaches of this universe in their own unique way. Everyone will have a different favorite chapter. To me, this is the future of Star Wars. So this is a very positive review that I actually very, very much love, and it gets me very hyped up for the actual show. So first, it says that animation is god tier, which, like I said, if you're a huge Star Wars or a huge anime fan, I'm sure that's true. I'm sure you guys are going to love the animation. Second is how they say that each studio does explore the Star Wars universe in very different ways, and it gives this uniqueness to each episode, which I very much love, especially since obviously they had come from a bunch of different perspectives, since there's a bunch of different studios, and that would definitely give each episode a very unique feel that I think a lot of Star Wars fans will enjoy, because you won't feel like bored, like I'm watching the same thing. No, you have a bunch of different unique perspectives from this show. And like he says, everyone will have a different favorite chapter, and that's most likely because you might like one perspective, how they choose to explore that more than other studios, and that's great to me. I love it whenever there's a bunch of different things and everyone has a different favorite, and this is something that I am very much looking forward to, because then you can have these really cool discussions over why this episode is better or why this episode is better. So yeah, I definitely love that. And then to end it off, they say that this is what they think will be the future of Star Wars, which we'll see how it ends up getting received. I'm very curious to see how this show ends up getting received, but they did mention that they do feel like this is going to be the future of Star Wars. The next retraction review comes from the Space Shipper, which this is what they said. Star Wars Visions, which comes out on September 22nd, there's a date, on Disney Plus, is as delightful as I expected. Yes, there are a couple of episodes that left me indifferent, but overall, it's a real success. A different take on Star Wars, which does not burden itself with canon to tell fresh stories. So here we see another positive first reaction review, but it also mentions some negatives. So first to start with, they gave the date, September 22nd. All the episodes will premiere on that date on Disney Plus. So mark the calendars if you're really hyped for the show. And they say how the show was very delightful, but they also said how some episodes just didn't work for them. They said that some episodes just let them feel like, okay, whatever, let's go on to the next one. So that's something to keep in mind. You might not like some episodes, and you might love others. As I said, that some of them were amazing, real success. So keep that in mind. Don't be like, oh, I didn't like this episode, so I'm not gonna watch the rest of the show. No. Keep watching, because some episodes, like this, first reaction review says, as well as other ones from Grace Randolph, say that some episodes just aren't that good, that they didn't feel like did anything to them, but that some of the other ones are like a huge success. So keep watching, and you might just have a great time with some other episodes. And maybe there was just that one or two episodes that weren't just that good. So keep that in mind and just keep watching. And also it says that it's really a relief that it's not like has to be on canon, because they can tell all these fresh stories and take all these risks in the show, which is something that I definitely very hard to see. I've seen how this has helped Marvel's What If not being set on canon, because now they can take all these risks that I don't think otherwise they would take if this was canon on the main timeline, like zombies and all that type of stuff. So I'm definitely very curious to see how they use that in this show. I think it's going to be a very huge positive for the show. The next retraction or review comes from James Whitebrook, and he says, Star Wars Visions is a triumph, a gorgeous, kinetic celebration of the ideas that make Star Wars what it is. Yes, it's full of bonkers imagery and constrained by what you know came before, but these shorts understand the thematic heart of the saga. Full review hits IO9 next week. So this is another positive first reaction review, and calling it a triumph, which is crazy. They said that this series truly does understand what Star Wars is, what makes Star Wars, and they really understand the heart of the saga, which is really good to know. It's good to know that they can understand what makes Star Wars, and they really try to base it off that. Even if it does go through these all bonkers ways and everything, it still has a thematic heart in the middle. So this first reaction review definitely makes me feel very positive about the show. Okay, the next one comes from Ashley Saunders, and this is what she says. These are the stories that you're looking for. Star Wars Visions boasts eye-catching animation, which blends various anime styles, incredible action, dynamic storytelling, and some of the most epic lightsabers in the galaxy. It's sure to be an instant hit with fans of all ages. So it's another very positive first reaction review, and this one says that these stories are amazing. These stories are the ones that you want from Star Wars. They're saying that they do the job perfectly with the amazing anime style, the incredible action, and they said it has really dynamic storytelling, which is something that the thing that I think I'm looking forward to the most is the dynamic storytelling in between these stories that don't have to be canon and stuff like that. No, they can really explore the Star Wars universe without worrying about like, oh no, it's gonna cost this or it's gonna cost that or it's gonna contribute this. No, I just want to see that dynamic thing. Also, I say it has the most epic lightsabers in the galaxy, so I'm very curious to see what type of lightsabers they use in this show. We've already seen one from the trailers where like the thing is spinning and blocking all the shots, but I definitely want to see more epic lightsabers, so definitely sign me up for that. And she also mentioned that how this is for all ages, so this can be for kids. If you have kids, you can see it with your kids. If you're a kid, you can see it. If you're an adult, you enjoy it as well, and if you're a teen, you can enjoy it as well. It's for all ages, so just consider that and keep that in mind. Okay, the next one comes from Chris Bass Normandy, and that's what he says. Ahead of my Star Wars Visions review for CG and Magoline next week, let me say I would love to get entire stories set in some of these worlds. Others are just fun side stories, unmoored in canon, and sometimes all lost of physics. Be excited, but also come with an open mind. So that's a very interesting first reaction review. It's pretty positive, but it also has some negatives that they do mention in the show, saying that how some stories are really amazing, really good, and some stories are just fine side stories. Like yeah, I'll enjoy it, why not? And they also said that there's some things that like are more and like lots of physics. So I'm definitely curious to see how they play with them and all type of stuff. And here's just to come with an open mind. I'm not entirely sure what that means, like to switch characters or stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely very curious and definitely very intrigued. The next first reaction review comes from Sky Talkers, and that's what they said. Super excited to see that Star Wars Visions is one of the coolest ventures Star Wars has ever done. Each short is different in the best way. Some are heartbreaking, romantic, uplifting, funny. All of them are gorgeously done. So this is an amazing first impression review, very positive. They say how it's really cool. It's a really cool show, and they say how once again they say how each episode is very unique, which is something like I said I'm looking forward to a lot in this show. They say that they can be heartbreaking, romantic, uplifting, and funny, and these are all emotions that I definitely want to see from the show, and I would definitely love. And they do say that it's gorgeously done, so I'm assuming that means animation wise it looks amazing. So another very first positive reaction or review. Okay, now for the last first reaction or review that I'm going to cover in this video, and this one's going to come from Star Wars Explained, and that's what they said. Star Wars Visions is cool. It's a mixed bag, which is to be expected. Most of the shorts really worked for me. The Ninth Jedi especially is phenomenal. I would have watched an entire movie based on their premise. My full review of the series will be out next week. So this is a very honest rejection review. They say how it's cool, but it's a very mixed bag. They said some of it really works, and some of it are just like, okay, They did mention, same thing as Eric Davis had mentioned before, that the Ninth Jedi is great. And in this case, they said it's phenomenal. So I'm the most excited to see that episode for sure. I'm just very curious. Even the name sounds like the Ninth Jedi. Like, I'm very curious. It has me very intrigued. And I said they will watch the whole entire movie based on that premise. So clearly it has a very interesting premise. I'm very excited for this show. Those are all the first sessions or reviews that I'm going to cover in this video. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, please leave a like. It would be very helpful, and if you found it informative and if it helped you create like an expectation of this show, like what to expect, the good, the bad, all that type of stuff, then please leave a like. It would be very helpful. So please and thank you. Also, make sure to comment down below what you thought of these first reactions or reviews. Did they get you more hyped up to see the show? Did they get you less hyped up? Which one are you looking forward the most? Which one are you looking forward to the least? Anything like that, definitely tell me down in the comments down below. Anything that has to do with Star Wars Visions, anything like that, just leave it down in the comments down below. I'm definitely going to read it, and I'm definitely going to answer it. So, definitely make sure to leave it down in the comments down below. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to get more videos like this. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a Band of the Carnage First Reactions Reviews breakdown, like this video. So definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it at all. You definitely want to see that video. And I'm going to be doing a lot of other videos. So definitely make sure to subscribe. I'm covering Star Wars, I cover Marvel, I'm covering all of that. So definitely make sure to subscribe if you want more content like that. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is JJ Entertainment, out.